welcome back to another Gigguk reaction video. So this is gonna be one that's very on brand. I know I recently did another Gigguk reaction. I usually don't like doing too many like other content creator video reactions, but this one I feel like I saw it and I was like, I need to check this one out because this is, of course, anime doesn't get better than this, and this is a video about orb. So if you don't, if you clicked on this video, then you know what orb is, right? So I don't need to sell you on it anymore, but I recently watched it on the channel as well. All of the reactions on that to that are on my channel. So, and I think it's so far definitely anime of the year. If you count it as an anime of this year, I think the second core specifically was even stronger. Even though the first core was really, really good, I think the second core was even stronger, and it is so far my anime of the year, bar none. So I am excited to see what Gigguk thinks about it. I know I've seen some clips when he talked about it, and he said that he also thinks it's absolutely incredible. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna talk about in this video, and maybe I'm gonna add some of my thoughts to it as well. So let's check it out. I'm gonna leave the original video down in the description as well, obviously, and let's go into Gigguk's Anime Doesn't Get Any Better Than This.
じゃあ、今まさに空を動いているのは何なんです？
地球だ。
地球って。
Oh my god, this takes me back to like the first few episodes.
え？地球？
You have never seen an anime like this before. Peak is one of the most overused words in the anime community right now.
I saw Joe. Wait, let me see.
One of the most overused.
Wait. Maybe who do we see here? Okay, so sorry, this is my territory now. We're going. I saw a few reaction channels, you know, that's why. Peak. Okay. Who? What the hell is this? Gigguk. What's this? Oh, okay. I'm not gonna even mention that. Oh, we have Rice and Ginger. Love their stuff. Obviously we have Gigguk. And then I knew I saw we have Mother's Basement, Jeff. Okay, great stuff. And then we have, who do I know? Garnt. Okay, self-plugging himself. Netflix, Crunchyroll. What else? Oh, Studio Gek. I love their videos as well. Great reactions. And Joey. Okay, Joey short. Banger. Wait, what? I could swear I saw Joe Freshest somewhere on there as well. Maybe I'm just delusional. That's completely possible as well, you know. And there was no, because I love that guy's videos as well. But I guess I'm just delusional. Yeah, I'm
words
delusional.
In the anime community right now. I swear, people are calling anything peak now, as long as it's the newest shiny thing to enter our community.
Yeah,
what
true.
new show everyone seems to be talking about? Peak. Flashy, well-animated fight scene just dropped. Peak. This man has aura.
Peak.
It's been used so much that when a series comes along that embodies what that word should mean, I don't even want to call it that.
Oh, Sangatsu no Lion, yes.
Brings. But recently, a show has come along where no matter what word I use to describe it, I still feel it wouldn't be doing it justice, because no words I say can
God, I love Draka.
The experience it gave me. It is simply that good. An anime that is not just a passing fad.
Draka might be my favorite character,
but simply gives you a
alongside Noah
experience that showcases the true depth of the human spirit. That's as beautiful as it is inspirational, and like many of the truly greats, has something I feel many of us need to hear. A show that, to me, is not just in the running of anime for the season or even anime of the year. It's
anime
right
the
up
decade?
there as possibly my anime of the decade.
Yep.
And I say that knowing full well that this decade will have the likes of Frieren, Dandadan, and Vinland Saga in it. That show was Orb. On the movies of the earth.
I agree with that.
But before that, Anime Girls.
Hell yeah, Anime Girls. Yeah, I agree with that. I think it is in the running for it. So far, like, what is it? It's 2025. So from 2015 to now, that's basically when I started my anime journey. It's 2015 I started watching anime. Up until this point, what came out there were some banger stuff that came out in that year. In those years, I guess. It is one of the better ones, especially if we're looking from anime that started in those past years. I think my favorite anime that started from 2015 to now would be Made in Abyss. I think this definitely is up there as well, though. So yeah, I agree with that. What else he said? Oh, about characters. I'm gonna talk more about my favorite characters and stuff like that as we go. I'm sure he's gonna bring it up at some point. So let's see.
Today, and with that said, back to Orb. It's alternate history Poland, a time when everyone knows
Alternate history,
the Earth is the center of the universe, and the church gets a little pissy if you imply anything but that, branding anyone who spreads opposing ideas as heretics and tries to make them see the light by making them see the light.
Good one.
Rafael,
Oh yeah,
a
good
normal
one.
kid
Wow.
searching
Yeah.
for an easy life has a chance meeting with a scientist, and under some extenuating circumstances, tells him about this little thought experiment that turns his whole world upside down, or sideways, or left to right. Or, yeah, I guess space technically doesn't have any directions. Rafael,
Yep.
you've become part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet. Are you putting together a team? I'm putting together a team.
No. No. Don't do
We're
an
gonna call
Avengers. Heliocentrists. Okay.
Heliocentrism.
I knew
The
it was gonna be
idea
an
that the
Avengers
very Earth they are
reference.
standing on is actually moving. An idea so profound, so dangerous, it could get them tortured and killed. And yet this little conversation starts a domino effect of a journey spanning years, spanning decades, about man's perseverance in the pursuit of truth and knowledge no matter the cost. So, it's an anime about proving the Earth rotates around the sun? But ew, isn't that
Kinda.
like boring space shit? Okay,
No,
first off,
what
you don't find
the
the concept of turning the world upside down with one of the biggest scientific discoveries in history interesting?
Yeah, that's hella interesting.
It's okay. I'll just find someone else to talk about all these 3-hour space facts to fall asleep to videos. And
True.
secondly, watching anime can sometimes
Pizza
be like
Hut.
eating pizza. I'm going somewhere with this, I swear. I've always got time for good pizza. Who doesn't love a good pizza? And there are so many variations. You can order one of the big 3 if you just want something comforting and familiar. A New York slice if
Okay.
you want to destroy your body in a great tasting way. Stone-baked sourdough if you feel a little fancy.
Yes,
Some of you
that's the
sickos
best.
like Hawaiian. It's okay. I went through a period of my life where I wanted to feel different too. I will never
Hey,
get bored
Hawaiian's
of pizza, but
aight.
at the same time,
It's not
pizza.
bad.
I know what to expect. I've had it a million times before, and I will continue to do so. But then, I remember the first time I tried
Tsukemen?
tsukemen, a dish I would have never heard of if I
I've never
didn't
had it
move to
before.
Japan, and it awoke something in me. A noodle dish burst full of flavor, unlike any ramen dish I tried. And right there and then, a new craving had formed. A craving I had never had before. And as you get older,
Such
and
a funny
continue to try
segment.
new things, experiencing that first bite of this completely new dish, something you've never tasted before, gets harder and harder to find. And it's moments like that that reminds you there is more to life than just
What's happening
pizza.
here?
What was I talking about again? Orb
Yeah.
is so far removed from any concept I've seen in anime before.
Yeah,
That's
fair
such
enough.
a rare feeling to have now. Does that mean you're necessarily gonna fuck with it because it's something new? No. But Orb is one of those cases where exploring something new allows them to do something magical with it that you rarely get to see in other anime. Right off the opening bat, the show sets up its world, sets up its goals. We're gonna drop the biggest bombshell.
You know, I think this is gonna be a very weird comparison, but for me, in my mind, what I kind of compare it to slightly, and hear me out, this is gonna be very weird, but Steins Gate. So Steins Gate is one of those anime where if you fuck with the topic of, you know, the entire physics side of things, of time travel, of just the actual topic of the show, then it's gonna grab you from the beginning, and it's so good. Like, because I know a lot of people say that, oh, it's really slow at the beginning, and I've seen people saying that for Orb as well, and I feel like it can be if you're not that interested in the topic, right? For both Steins Gate and for Orb. For me personally, I was very interested in both the Steins Gate entire premise and also in Orb's entire premise, or I guess topic. So that's why from episode 1, I was hooked, right? And it's one of those shows that if you just slightly care about the topic, it gets you hooked instantly, and you are in for a ride from episode 1. And that's, in that way, I feel like it definitely is comparable, in my opinion, to something like Steins Gate when it comes to, you know, just hooking you and stuff like that. So I know it's a weird comparison, but that's kind of what I compare it to.
This globe has ever seen, and we're gonna do it without getting caught. You understand what's
The
happening?
show itself is
You
obviously
get the
different,
general
though.
direction the story is heading, and that's the exact moment it grabs you by the neck and
Yep.
choke slams you onto the
Yep.
ground for thinking you were smart
Yep.
enough to know where the plot was taking you. Almost immediately, you realize the stakes are real, and it is not here to fuck around. As soon as you think you know what is going to happen next is the exact point where you should be the most afraid. It is rare nowadays
Yep.
that a series does something that is genuinely able to surprise me once, and yet Orb was able to do it like half a dozen times. This
Yeah,
is a show
preach.
that doesn't play by the book. It rips it
Preach.
apart and writes its own, all led by the greatest anime villain we've seen of this decade thus far. Normally,
Yeah,
when we talk
yeah,
about anime,
yeah.
we use other anime as a frame of reference.
I agree with
but
that.
I haven't seen a character as
Probably.
terrifying as Novak since Christoph Waltz's performance in Inglourious Bastards. A man whose sheer presence doubles your blood pressure when he's on screen, demanding your attention in every scene he's in and refusing to let go. A
Bro.
smart, calculated man, ruthlessly efficient in his job of catching heretics, but the most terrifying thing of all is that he's someone who sees themselves as completely in the right and can use that as justification to enact some of the most heinous things a person can bring upon another human being. There are moments in this that craft the kind of tension where you forget to breathe because you genuinely do not know which direction a scene is going to go. Are we going to continue moving forwards? Is it going to head sideways, or is Novak dragging us all into hell? And you think that if you just let your guard down for a single second, somehow it'll affect the fates of the characters on screen. It has been so long since
that one scene in the restaurant, you know, when they're in the restaurant with like Yolenta and stuff like that, and Noak comes in, that one scene, I think I was probably really close to fainting just because I wasn't breathing. I forgot to breathe in that scene because it was so intense. That one scene, oh my god, I still get chills just thinking about it. It was so intense, like every single part of that, because Yolenta didn't know that he's an Inquisitor, right? And that scene, and Otzi knew that he was an Inquisitor, but Otzi also knew that he could very well recognize Otzi because they've met before, but Noak didn't recognize Otzi until the end, and you were just standing there, holding your breath and being like, oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Such an incredible scene. And obviously that's just one of many scenes from Noak that's incredible, but god, that scene was so good.
Has been able to make me feel that. And yet, this high-stakes cat-and-mouse game isn't even the show's biggest strength, and Novak arguably isn't even the best character. Rafał, a boy too smart for his age who just wants an easy life. Baldani, an egotistical priest chasing achievements at any price. Ozki, a man desperately looking for hope.
Draka, where's my goat?
Without salvation. Yolenta, Schmidt, Albert, Draka, Hubert, all the best cast of characters I've seen in anime. You'll be following the story of one character, and you'll think this.
Draka and Otzi are probably my favorite.
This is my guy. You'll get invested in his story, get intrigued on their life perspective, start believing the same things they do, cheer for them to come out on top, and that's when the story will switch perspectives to some random ass character, and you're like, who is this man?
Yep, that was me.
Who does think he is?
Yep.
This is not my guy. Then, through one single conversation, you'll perch up and think, hold on, let's hear what he has to say. You'll get invested in their story, get intrigued on their perspective of life, start believing the same things they do, cheer for them to come out on. This happens like 4 or more times. There is no protagonist here, only people working towards a common goal of the pursuit of truth no matter what the obstacles are. Each of different ages, ideals, goals, and beliefs with a personal philosophy shaped by their own life experiences, and all somehow as interesting as each other. It is bloody impossible to choose a favorite character here. Every single person introduced has their own reason for being a part of all this, some of them with completely opposing philosophies, and the series constantly lets them go at each other. One character will make a point and you'll be like, damn, okay, maybe this guy's got a point.
That was me, every single time.
Like, okay, wait, let him cook?
Yep.
One of the most amazing things this show does. Listen to this. The thing you oppose isn't me, nor is it heretics. It's part imagination and part curiosity. In short, it's truth itself. It spreads like an epidemic. Not even the host can control it. It's not the sort of harmless thing that can be tamed by an organization. Now, how hard does this quote go? It is one of just
so good,
uttered by every single character you meet that can make enough inspirational plaques to fill up a Midwestern mum's bathroom. A wrong answer isn't a meaningless one. Heliocentrism is my faith. Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
Oh my god.
I think that's a quote from Spy Kids 2. This anime is a non-stop
I was like, I don't remember that one.
And the chosen weapon is spoken word. It is a dense series. Incredibly dense. Dense in character, dense in ideas.
So good.
Than the earth itself. Denser than a neutron star. Not as dense as your mum. Yet somehow, it feels like there's never any fat to it. Every scene, every conversation serves a purpose. Even if it's not directly moving the plot along, the characters themselves never stand still. Metaphorically speaking, there's a lot of standing around in this anime. And for an anime that initially seems to be about sticking it to the church, science, bitch, pursuit of truth.
Dr.
Not
Stone.
once does it ever feel like it's preaching to you. It would have been so easy to try and preach a message, yet through its characters, it presents a point of view from both sides and allows you to come to your own
so many sides,
even if it's not necessarily the same ones the characters come to. Because with each passing conversation, you can slowly see the impact each character makes on each other's ideology. Little by little, they change each other. One person will completely stand for one thing, and then 5 episodes later, through interacting with the people around them, you see the character make a major decision that seemingly goes against everything they initially stood for. These aren't just most well-established three-dimensional characters, this is an absolute masterpiece of character-driven storytelling. Characters will talk, affect each other, shoulder the words of the people they meet, and change. Not necessarily for the better, not necessarily for the worse, but what's necessary for them. People will die without achieving their dreams, their ambitions left unfulfilled, yet not once do you feel like anyone left this story not finding what they were truly looking for. And it's fucking beautiful. I really cannot put into words how awe-inspiring the writing is here. Isaac Newton is one of the greatest scientists in history. This is a man who discovered the laws of motion, the laws of gravity, fundamental laws we still use today hundreds
Newtonian
of
laws.
years later. Then, as a side project to study the movements of the moon, accidentally invents an entire branch of mathematics you might recognize called calculus, all before the age of 26. And yet, he had the audacity to say, "If I've seen further, it is by standing on the shoulder of giants." This series embodies the spirit of that quote to its core. There are a few shows that can so wonderfully showcase the true depths of the human spirit as all. Without power levels, without any screaming men pushing past their limits, it shows that progress is a collaborative effort achieved through the sharing of ideas and perspective, right and wrong. It is not a single person, it is people that write the course of history. People that have found a belief they will stand for against all odds. Barriers be damned, a belief shaped by listening to the people around them. Remember these two? Well, their conversation ends like this.
あなたが正しいとは全く思わない。
そのままお返しさせていただく。
Here are two people that can find no middle ground, and yet by simply acknowledging each other's viewpoints, can still come to understand, affect, and eventually even trust in each other, and goddamn, is that not the kind of hope we need? The series puts every single one of these characters in a place where
that moment
their
with Draka
truth
at the
is
end.
challenged, and asks, what is the right way to act when it happens? Because the longer the series goes on, the more you realize it was never about proving heliocentrism was true, but that belief, blind belief, is one of the most dangerous mindsets you can have, no matter what that belief is. And that, I think,
that
is one of the most important messages we all need to hear. At a time when it feels like the world could never be more divided, when nobody can seemingly agree on anything, this series shook me to my core. If Vinland Saga taught you that you have no enemies, Orb tells you it's okay to also just listen to them. It shows that true strength comes not from those who are always right, but from those who can concede when they are wrong. It's a reminder that you don't always have to agree, but that doesn't mean you cannot understand and empathize.
I actually feel like I'm gonna cry to this.
Part of something bigger.
It's so epic.
The world is so much larger than the little bubble you make for yourself, and with or without you, will continue moving. So, if that's the case, you should never forget to continue moving forwards with it. Orb is a series about moving the earth, and that includes all of us.
Ah, 10% share of the profits on this video will be given to Potocki. Yo! Oh, yes, yes, yes. Nice reference. Nice reference. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that he has actually given some spotlight to this show. I know that he said that he's been enjoying it a lot. And that, yeah, it is, as he said, one of the animes of the decade, which, as I said, I agree with. It's definitely up there with some of the best of the decade, for sure, for me as well. Absolutely incredible anime, and just, I don't have too much to add to what he said because I agree with every single thing. And, like, when it comes to characters and stuff like that, I think everyone's gonna have different favorites. For me, I saw some people saying that Draka is like their least favorite. For me, Draka is probably my favorite, just because the way that she was able to sell the idea, sell the market of, you know, I have this idea, or it wasn't even the idea at first. It was, she came to Anthony, was like, you know what? People nowadays, they want portable entertainment. They want to have something on the go that they can have fun with, because nowadays, the only thing where they can get entertainment and they can get something fun is they would go to a theater, or they would, you know, go out somewhere, right? They couldn't just be at home or just be outside on a bench and have some kind of entertainment on the go. So people want that. So I'm gonna propose something to you. I have this idea for a book, right? We can use the newly established printing press or moving press, whatever they call it, moving type, right? To make a book for people, and it's gonna be about this kind of like wacky mathematical idea called heliocentrism. Don't worry about it, but it's gonna make us a lot of money. So she was such a genius. Holy shit, I love Draka, And the way that she was able to bullshit through every single situation was so good. And just her switch of ideologies during one ride, from the settlement where Yolenta was in to the settlement where the moving type was in. That one ride just switched her entire outlook on so many things. And oh, I could go on and on and on. I love Yolenta. Also, Otzi is up there as well. I feel like every single character is absolutely incredible. Some of the characters are gonna click with you more than others. For me, Otzi and Draka were the ones who clicked the most. Obviously, Novak as a villain, like insane, especially episode 23. But wow, what an incredible video. I got chills throughout the entire video, basically. Incredible. It got me emotional, man, because of just, not because it was sad, but just because of how epic it is. Sometimes you see something so epic that you're like, man, this is making me tear up. It's so good. But I'm so happy that he's giving even more exposure to this show, because, I mean, I hate using the word underrated, because I feel like people misuse it so much, and people use the word, yeah, underrated for like every single thing that ever existed. But I do think that this is one of those shows where, I mean, it's been getting, like, my reactions to this have been getting really, really good numbers, really, really good views. It's mostly the Japanese demographic though, which is interesting. Like, it's unfortunate that the global I guess anime fanbase doesn't really know too much about it. I feel like it's underrated on the global scale, but it's it seems very popular on the Japanese scale, which is great to see. But yeah, I do think that it's fair to say that this is underrated. I say this carefully, but I do think it's fair to say. Incredible show, incredible video by Gigguk. As I said, make sure to go and check out the original, which I'm gonna link down in the description, but really, 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 really good. Agree with every single word that he said. And this is gonna be one of the best anime that came out in the last 10 years, for sure. So, and it's also finished, right? It has an ending. It told the entire story it wanted to in a best way possible. And Madhouse did a great job animating it. Kinsuke Ushio did a great job in the OST and stuff like that. The voice acting was great. Just honestly, what's his name? What's the name of Noak's VA again? It's Tsuda Kenjiro, right? Tsuda Ken. Yeah, he was absolutely incredible. Perfect choice for the VA. Just incredible. But yeah, anyways, I don't think I can say much more about it that would, you know, apart from just saying that it's incredible. So, that's gonna be all for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.